I'm just a volunteer.
Okay then. Say, how did that lady get in?
I gotta piss, man.
That's not very ladylike. If I have to urinate, can I get in? Do you think, based on your walk around, that most of those tents are indeed deserted?
Yes, I do believe that, because when I was there, it was quiet. Like, I looked through some of the tents, nobody was there.
David Menzies with Rebel News here at Little Gaza on the campus of the University of Toronto. And the first thing we noticed today upon our visit was, well, the silence is deafening. Sure, there is a whole colony of tents, but I don't see many occupants. Could be they're in the tents, or could be those tents are empty. And more on that later, folks. I'm with Donovan. Donovan is not part of the pro-Hamas encampment. However, somehow he got in. We can't get in. We don't know what the secret is. Hey, how you doing, ladies? Just wondering, is it possible to go in and have a walk around today? No?
Not today, no.
In terms of getting in. So, first of all, Donovan, how were you able to breach this fence?
Well, to be honest, I'm a very handsome guy, so I smooth talk the ladies, you know.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, you just have to recite some of their rhetoric.
Oh, yes. Which would be what exactly?
You think Jerusalem is part of Palestine,
Okay.
and
I guess you're supposed to say yes for that.
yeah, like
Okay.
like a robot. Yeah. That was my intention, right?
Okay, then.
And what else? Palestinians have the right for freedom of choice or something like that.
Gotcha.
I kind of was zoning out because I just wanted to be over with so I can walk around.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
And Donovan, you told me off camera, the first thing you noticed, just like we did, it's so quiet here today. And the second thing you noticed are the majority of these tents even occupied. I hardly see any foot traffic. In fact, I only see a couple people near the gate, minding the gate. And what it brings to mind, once upon a time in yesterdecade, when Ezra and I were with Sun News Network, Occupy Toronto was a thing. They took over St. James Park, and we went down there in the wee hours of the morning, I think it was 3:30 a.m., with a special heat-seeking camera, and we found out that the place was almost completely deserted. Nobody was in those tents, and the ringleaders were across the street at the Holiday Inn. Do you think, based on your walk around, that most of those tents are indeed deserted?
Yes, I do believe that, because when I was there, it was quiet. Like, I looked through some of the tents, nobody was there. A few of them had some people just lying around maybe, but that's pretty much it.
So it's kind of ingenious, much like the Occupy Toronto movement. You erect a tent, people assume there's 2, 3, 4, 5 people in those tents, when in fact there's nobody in those tents. It's kind of like the old Pontiac Fiero, all show, no go.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe that's exactly what's going on in there.
Well, there you go, folks. It looks impressive, but are there anyone in those tents? We would go and pay house calls like a New Age Avon lady. The only problem is we can't get past the gatekeepers. I guess our line of questions, our ideology, it's not in sync with the pro-Hamas Hitler Youth occupying King College Circle. Do you know what day I can come back and just check out who's who in the zoo, so to speak?
Couldn't tell you. I'm not an organizer, so.
Oh, okay. Are there any organizers there? I think there's even media liaison officers, isn't there?
There is a media liaison, correct.
Okay.
I don't know if they're available right now.
Okay.
As they're not available on demand.
Okay. Oh, no, but we've come here for about almost 2 weeks now. We never seem to catch them. Here's the thing. It just looks like there's nobody home. It looks like a lot of tents, but there's nobody in the tents. Am I correct in that assumption?
I'm just a volunteer here, so I can't speak to that.
Okay. How about yourself, ma'am?
I don't speak to media.
Oh, okay then. The other thing is, Iranian President Abraham Raisi died in that chopper accident on the weekend. Is there a vigil or candlelight ceremony for him coming up? No? Okay, how about yourself?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you mourning the death of Mr. Raisi?
How is that relevant?
Oh, well, Iran being the funder for the likes of Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, I would imagine that would be a blow. In fact, I saw a sign that says Iran stands with Palestine, so maybe you feel somewhat saddened that this man died in such a tragic way?
I'm just a volunteer.
Okay, then. Say, how did that lady get in?
I gotta piss, man.
That's not very ladylike. If I have to urinate, can I get in?
There's washrooms around here.
Oh, where?
This way, by Hard House, if you would like.
Oh, I can go in even though I'm not a student? Okay.
I don't make the rules for UFT, so.
Okay. Who is making the rules? Because this is an illegal encampment. I mean, isn't there a bit of chutzpah here that the illegal occupiers are setting down all these rules, ma'am, in the first place? No. Okay. And why is everybody wearing a disguise almost? I mean, we're 2 years away from the masking mandates of COVID, aren't we? Yeah. No. How about yourself, sir? What do you think of Mr. Berube being named the head coach of the Leafs today? Guess he's taken that Game 7 overtime loss really, really harshly. Well, there you have it, folks. It is just amazing, I think. This is an illegal encampment, several sections of the Trespass Act being broken, illegal fires, but then again, they're indigenous fires, so turn a blind eye. And yet, the people who complain about a so-called occupation are now themselves the occupiers, and they decide who gets to go in and who gets to go out. And we learned one thing: if you're a Muslim lady that needs to pee, you're allowed in, but a guy like me who's keeping his bladder in control, no dice. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzies. Well, folks, it must be the summer-like heat because it's pretty quiet here. And I guess we should count our blessings, because when it isn't quiet, typically people in this encampment are chanting for genocide. We've had enough of that. A lot of the people doing so, they're not even Canadian citizens. They're on visas. They're foreign students. If you feel like we do, please go to deporthamas.com. That's deporthamas.com. Sign our petition and tell people that bring hatred to our great dominion to pack their bags and get out of town.